So, let me say the story of what happened, okay? So, how did Kamimi get pulled over? How did she end up in driving school again? Let's find out. So, as I was saying, I was rolling down the street, you know, going 59, almost 60 on this road at nighttime. There was no cars on the street. And so I see a black car next to me. It had no way of proving that it was a police car. It was one of those undercover police cars, okay? So, he's on one lane, I'm on the other lane, okay? We're going around the same speed. Then he starts going faster. And I was like, oh, you want to play that game? I'll start going faster too. So I start going faster. He goes a little faster. I start going a little faster. But then he slowed down a lot. And so I started slowing down because I didn't, if he didn't want to race, I didn't want to race. So he started slowing down and then he went behind me and I was like, oh, okay, interesting. Okay, you tried to race them? Dude, my car is fucking fast. So I try to race people any chance I get. Don't listen to my advice. And again, I had my windows down blasting this fucking song about painting a guy's nuts, which he probably heard. Holy fuck, I'm so embarrassed now that I think about it. Literally, dude, as I'm pulling into my complex, because we have a private gated neighborhood, right? As I'm pulling into the gate, like code enter thingy-majiggy, okay? As I reach out to start putting my code in to enter the gate, behind me I hear, and I just see red and blue flashing lights, and I'm like, oh. Yep, I was literally just like, caught. Like, okay, I don't speed only at nighttime when there's no cars on the road, okay? I've been driving for years. This is the first time I ever get pulled over, okay? So typically I'm a good driver, that means, right? I literally wanted to cry. I was shaking, I was shivering, but I had to keep my cool, dude. I literally put on the easy glasses and I was like, okay, bro, act natural, act fine. Don't shake, don't be scared or anything. So then he's walking up to my car with his hands on his belt, like, you know, like how they do. And then he pulls up and he's like, what the hell were you doing? That's literally what he said, dude. What the hell were you thinking? He's like, ma'am, are you aware that you were going 59 at a 45? And I was like, yeah, I thought you were just like a guy, and I was just trying to like, you know, like do like a little speed moment with you, but I didn't even realize you were a cop. I'm sorry. I take full responsibility. I'm very sorry, officer. And he was like, all right, I get it. Let me see your ID, ma'am. So I hand him my ID, and he was looking at my ID like, how do you say your name? What is that? Because I have such a weird name, it's really hard for people to understand how to pronounce it. I was like, oh, it's... And he was like, okay, nice. Ma'am, have you taken any marijuana recently? And I was like, no, I don't do any of that stuff, I promise. And he was like, are you under the influence of anything? And I was like, no, it's Ramadan, so, you know, I'm not drinking. and so he was like, okay, I understand. Do you have any weapons in the car? And I was like, no. So he takes my ID and he's like, give me a second. So he goes in the car. Anyways, after 20 minutes passed, I was looking at cute dog photos on Instagram. There was like an Instagram that had cute little white teacup puppies. And in the meantime, I was just looking at all of them. They were so cute. They were keeping me happy and calm during this very stressful moment. So then he comes back to the window and he was like, all right, ma'am, unfortunately, I'm gonna have to fine you, give you a ticket today, because you were speeding. And yeah, I literally was so frightened and anxious because this was my first time. I didn't realize he didn't give me my ID back. So he gave me the fine. I was like, okay, officer, I'm so sorry. I'll never do it again. I'll be more careful at night. And thank you so much for letting me know. And so I took the paper from him and he was like, have a nice day, ma'am. And so... yeah, we go our separate ways. Oh yeah, he asked me where I was coming from, like why was I out so late? He was like, where are you going to? And I was like, oh, my house is right here. You literally stopped me right in front of my community. He was like, oh, okay. And he was like, where are you coming from? Why are you out so late? And I was like, oh, I came from the gym. Look, I have my water bottle right here, look. And I showed him my giant ass fucking quadrillion milliliter water bottle. So yeah, as I'm putting the code in to enter the complex, he was watching me, or my community. He was literally watching me to make sure that this was actually my house. And I felt so, my fingers were shaking. I was like, beep. And so I enter my garage and I was like, wait a minute. I'm like feeling everywhere. I'm like, hold on. What the? And so I realized my ID is not with me. And immediately, I start fucking panicking because I'm gonna tell my parents not only did I get pulled over and got a speeding ticket, but I also don't have my ID anymore. It was like a double punishment for my parents. I'm gonna fucking cry because I have a flight to see Numi. And what if I don't get it back in time? I was so scared. And so I called the local police department. He was like, oh, I can redirect you to the officer. Do you know his name? And I was like, no. So I checked the paper and thankfully his name was on the speeding ticket. So they redirected me to him and I called the officer and he was like, ma'am, I'm so sorry, ma'am. It was an accident. I didn't mean to take your ID. I'm so sorry. It was so unprofessional of me. And you know what I almost said to him? I was about to joke with him and be like, so you wanna revoke my speeding ticket so we're both even? But I didn't know if the joke was gonna land with him. It's like an officer, so like I don't want to risk it, you know? He was like, what do you want me to do? And I was like, oh, can you just bring it back to where you pulled me over? And he was like, no, ma'am, I'm not even on that side of town anymore. And I was like, And so he was like, I can do one of two things, all right? I can either mail it to you, which might take a few days, or I'll drop it off at this police station. You come pick it up. So he dropped it at the police station and I went to go pick it up. And yeah, I picked it up this morning. But now I still have this speeding ticket that I have to deal with. And I don't want points on my license because that means my insurance will go up because I'm under the age of 25. Fuck me in the ass. I have to do driving school. I have 7 days to do it, so I have to do driving school before Numi and we've got... Like, I just wanted to pay the speeding ticket. But if I paid the speeding ticket, that means that I'm pleading, like, guilty for speeding, which means that they would put 2 points on my license, which means my insurance would go to $1,000
while going to pick up your license, Cat.
Yeah, so instead of $1,000 a month, I would rather just do the school. That's why I'm back in school. Yay!